Hi, this is Hannah, your librarian. Just wanted to remind you to reach out to me anytime with questions. All of my contact information can be found in the tab that says Contact Need Help. And like the last video series, you'll be prompted to pause and complete an activity to practice. Activities can be found just below this video. This whole tutorial is tailored to your writing assignment and Blackboard quiz for your grant writing course. Now that you have found your organization, have gotten to know more about your organization and a grant to support their needs, it is time to find hard evidence. This tutorial will walk you through how to identify and evaluate different types of evidence and resources, as you will need a variety to complete your assignment. Next, we will discuss and practice where and how to search strategically for evidence. And lastly, I will provide you some APA resources for you to utilize as needed for your assignment, but we will not review APA style here. First, let's talk about different kinds of resources of evidence. A variety of evidence and sources is important because you will be demonstrating that multiple sources, organizations, studies, etc., back up your claim of need, or that your solution to your nonprofit's problem has been successful in other situations, so success in your situation here is likely. That is all very appealing to a funder. As someone who is to give you money, I want to know that you have done research. You can demonstrate and follow through on your need and solution. I want to know that I'm giving my money to the right organization because they know what they need and have evidence of support. Evidence partnered with a compelling need and a story is a powerful grant submission. Make it personal by telling them how their money will impact people or the problem and prove it with evidence. It's likely that most of your support will come from journal articles, professional accredited organizations like the American Nursing Association, for example, and government documents. In each of these, you will find data and statistics, graphs, charts, and infographics, and expert quotes. The tricky part is searching and ensuring the resources are credible. So let's get started with evaluating credibility. On my guide, there's a tab for Evaluating Resources. On this page are two charts, the CRAP model and a table on reading and evaluating a journal article. I'm going to start with the CRAP model, which is more like a guideline rather than a hard and fast rule. The first category to evaluate for is currency. When was the information written? Does it matter to your topic if the information is current? If you are writing about a current problem or population, then you want recent evidence, ideally within the last 5 years, but 10 may also be acceptable. If I am writing about current hunger in Athens County, then it may not be relevant to use a quote from a research article over 15 years old. The second category is relevance. Is it entirely about your topic or just a few sentences? Who is the resource intended for? Healthcare professionals or consumers? If the resource has only a small portion of content on your topic, find a better resource that is dedicated to your topic. Also, using WebMD or similar resources are meant for paranoid patients, not people writing a grant or a professional in the field. The next category is author, which asks about the author or creator of the resource. Do they have a background that would suggest knowledge on the topic? Sometimes you may not know this, but be on the lookout for majors and doctorates, etc. listed after their name, or literally Google the author to see what else they have written. The second A is for accuracy. Where does the information come from? What kind of resource is it? Is it backed up by evidence or just opinion? Meaning, do they have legitimate references to back up their claims? I have noted on here as well some web domains like .gov, .com, etc. Note these are not rules. .org could be just as easily Wikipedia as it is a professional organization. And just because you're looking at a .com website doesn't mean it's bad information. It could very possibly be the publisher to the scholarly journal article you're looking at. So do not take face value with the website alone. Look at the content. Lastly, its purpose. Why was the information written? Are the intentions made clear? Are they selling me something? If they're selling me an idea, then it's time to be skeptical. The second table I will review when we are searching for research articles, but now pause this video and go to part 2 activities and questions below to practice evaluating resources. Great, now let's dive into creating search strategies on your topics. By topics, I mean your organization's need, the reason for why you are writing the grant. In order to search for evidence effectively, you need to break down your topics. For example, let's say I want to write a grant to fund music therapy programs for veterans with PTSD. In order to get the best results, and the quickest, I need to pick out the most important concepts of my topic and identify some synonyms. On the left of this table, I have 3 main concepts: music therapy, veterans, PTSD. On the right, I have a list of some synonyms that I've thought of. For music therapy, I have it split because for music, I could use song, singing, or dance. And I could even add a specific kind of music if I wanted to, like classical or hip hop, depending on what you're looking for. I did the same for my other concept, veteran, which includes synonyms like military, army, and armed forces. And PTSD I ensured to include post-traumatic stress disorder and trauma, to name a few. And the reason why I kind of split up music therapy is because I have therapy or rehabilitation, but I couldn't find a synonym that included music therapy together as a phrase, so that's why I'm splitting it up. I think it's going to be easier to search. Going back to the idea of PTSD, it's really important to ensure the whole acronym and what the acronym spells for. So for example, if you have an acronym like ADHD, PTSD, etc., it's very important to include the spelled out version in your search strategy. Why? Because a title of an article or an author of an infographic or an article may not use the acronym, but instead spell out post-traumatic stress disorder and not even mention PTSD. So if I only search for PTSD, the search will not pick up the alternative even though it's the same thing. This is why thinking about a couple of synonyms is really important. In the case of my topic, I don't care if the author uses the word veteran or military, as long as the article talks about music therapy for PTSD in this population. This table is just the making of my search strategy, which is next. I am now going to walk you through how to construct a search strategy on a topic. My topic. And that is actually what you'll be typing in order to search for evidence. And, or, not are how you tie together your table of concepts and synonyms. Let me explain how. And glues 2 ideas together. In this chart, I have cats and dogs. That means that those 2 words have to be found together somewhere in the article or page. The more you and, the less results you get. I'm not really going to talk about not too much, except for don't use it. You really need to know what you don't want in order to use this feature, and in this case, you're probably not going to get there, which is fine. The other good option is or. Or gives you more results, and is how you pair synonyms together. So on this chart, I have cat or dog. I don't care if the article includes one of these ideas or both. Also, cat or feline or kitten or synonym. So I could type that in and it includes other phrases or words that authors might use. So if we go back to my table real quick, the words going down are what you will and the words going across are what you will or. Now let me show you how this actually works, an example from my topic. So here I have music, And capitalize. You have to capitalize those ands and ors so it doesn't search them as just the word and, but it's like a formula. So and, parenthesis, therap, asterisk, or rehab, asterisk, parenthesis. First, I'll explain that portion. So the asterisk star will do any possible ending of that word. So I have therap star, which could be therapy, or therapeutic, or therapies. All of those are good with me, so it's going to do some work for me. So instead of me actually having to type those in, I put therap star and it does it for me. So then it'll do the same thing for rehabilitation, rehab, rehabilitate, etc. So I have therapy and rehabilitation, those ideas in parentheses, because they are OR'd together. And I don't want the database to OR therapy or music because the article has to be about both music and therapy. But therapy or rehab can be OR'd because it could be one way or the other, and I'd probably get what I want. Next, I have picked out my words for veterans, all OR'd together in parentheses, the same for PTSD. Armed forces and post-traumatic stress disorder I have in quotation marks because I do not want the database to search for just the word disorder and music. Post-traumatic stress disorder is a very specific phrase, like armed forces, that I want to keep searched together in that exact order. Whew. Okay, I know that was a lot. And now we're going to be doing a little bit of practicing. And just know that searching for things is squishy. You'll have to experiment with different words, play around to get your best results. But this is a formula to be the most efficient and effective. And once you learn the ropes, you'll be good to go. Also, don't be afraid to be more simplistic with your search strategy. So here I have another example for my topic that's simpler. But it might be more appropriate for your topic, or maybe start here and then work your way up to something more fancy. Pause this and go to Part 1, Activities and Questions below to practice what I have discussed. You will be identifying the main concepts and synonyms for your topic and building a search strategy. Next, we start searching for evidence. We will be doing this in 3 phases: scholarly research, government documents, and professional accredited organizations. Although really it's 2 phases because we're going to put government documents and professional accredited organizations together. But these are the 3 realms. You will be searching in different places for your topic and search strategy completed in the previous portion of this tutorial. First, we start with scholarly work. By this I mean research, studies, journal articles, etc. To find these, you need to search library databases, and I will key you into several options. Journal articles and scholarly work is where you will find great quotes and statistics to use as support. You may even find a chart or graph as well, all of which are linked in the Part 2 resources box below, or connect via the library's homepage. Go to databases and then connect using your Ohio University ID. I have listed and linked below a variety of databases that are general and their general subject. If I know I want to buy a Subaru, for example, I'm probably not going to go to a Ford dealership to buy a Subaru. Also, just searching Google for journal articles and scholarly work would be like trying to buy a car from Walmart. First, they don't sell cars. Second, if they did, they probably wouldn't be the highest quality. This is why databases kind of specialize in specific subjects. So do search these resources for evidence because you'll get better quality and they're within the scope that you need. And you may be searching in a couple of these depending upon your topic or subjects. So for my topic about music therapy for veterans with PTSD, I'm going to search a health and medicine database as well as the psychology database that I mentioned below to start. If you do not see what you are looking for subject-wise, then run your search strategy in Articles Plus, which can be found on the main page of the website. This is a very multidisciplinary search, or you can reach out to me for suggestions for databases. I am now going to run my search in PsycInfo. I'm going to type in my search strategy. You can copy and paste the entire thing in the first bar, or break it down concept by concept like I am here. I am then going to limit to academic journals, which is on the left-hand side. This is not a feature found in every database, but if you do see it, it can be helpful. And I'm also going to limit the publication date to the last 10 years, so I'm getting more recent and relevant research. So I only have about 20 results, but they look really good. Remember, when you do not see the PDF right away, to click on the full text finder. I'm going to go back to my Social and Public Health Guide, to my Evaluating Resources tab, because here is the journal article table for help. I mentioned this earlier when I was talking about the CRAP model, which you can see. If you would like to see how I evaluate journal articles from search results to actually using it in my search strategy, or into my research, this explains what I look for in what stage, so feel free to explore it, as well as the CRAP model when you are evaluating your resources for use. Pause this and go to Part 2 Activities and Questions below to practice what I have discussed. You will be searching for journal articles and library databases. Next up, searching for government documents and professional organizations. Finding infographics and statistics that are more basic may be best found in these resources. Searching for government documents and professional organizations is best done via Smart Google, which is something we discussed in the last tutorial and will review here. I would suggest doing some basic research to identify specific government agencies and professional organizations that focus on your topic. For me, I'm going to start with the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, so Veterans Health Association, and the American Music Therapy Association. I'm going to use the same search strategy method that I did when searching in a database. Again, you'll need to experiment with your search strategy and wording, but I'm going to use the same methodology in Smart Google. So I have my site, and then my website, like we did before, and then I have my topic or my search strategy. If I run my search for the professional organization, it looks like one of the first results is recommendations, a report actually by this organization for my topic exactly. That's perfect. A lot of great information. As you can see, the results aren't thousands upon thousands, so this really helped. Pause this and go to Part 2 Activities and Questions below to practice what we have discussed. You'll be searching for evidence from government reports as well as professional organizations. All right, this is the end. Remember, I have some APA resources linked under this video if you need additional help. And do feel free to reach out with any questions you may have. Good luck!